Annyeong! Welcome back. One of the most common places to meet up with friends or with anyone in Korea is at a cafe. Cafes are everywhere in Korea. They have lots of open space, and it's common to just order a drink and a snack and talk for hours. And today's conversation is between two new friends who are deciding what they want to order in a cafe. So first, let's listen to the full conversation once, and then I'll go over it in detail and see what we can learn.
언니는 선아 어떻게 알게 됐어요? 저는 요가 수업 듣다가 알게 됐어요. 유리 씨는요? 저는 선아랑 같은 학교 다녔어요. 학교면 대학교? 아니요. 초중고를 다 같이 다녔어요. 어머, 그럼 10년도 넘게 알고 지낸 사이네요? 네, 아쉽게도 대학교는 같이 못 갔지만요. 언니, 뭐 마실래요? 저는 아까 커피 마셔서 차 마시려고요. 유리 씨 먼저 골라봐요. 라떼도 마시고 싶고 아도 괜찮을 것 같고 어렵다. 못 고르겠어요. 그럼 밖에 비도 오는데 오늘은 라떼 마셔요. 여기 라떼 잘해요. 네, 그럼 저는 라떼 할게요. 선아 오려면 시간 좀 걸릴 것 같은데 쿠키나 케이크도 하나 먹을까요? 좋아요. 저는 빵 종류는 다 좋아해요. 잘됐다. 여기 케이크 맛집인데. 레몬 파운드 케이크 먹어봤어요? 아니요. 근데 레몬 파운드 케이크 맛있을 것 같아요. 그럼 레몬 파운드 케이크 하나 할게요. 먹어보고 입에 잘 맞으면 하나 더 먹어요. 네, 좋아요. 저희 레몬 파운드 케이크 하나랑 따뜻한 라떼 하나랑 따뜻한 홍차 하나 주세요. 제가 계산할게요. 오늘은 제가 살게요. 다음번에 유리 씨가 사요. 고마워요, 언니. 잘 먹을게요.
Okay, now let's take a look at this conversation one line at a time. And again, remember to take notes so that you can check them later on.
언니는 선아 어떻게 알게 됐어요?
How did you get to know Sona? In this conversation, Yuri and Jisoo are friends, but Jisoo is older. Also, since they're new friends and are not yet close, they're speaking politely.
저는 요가 수업 듣다가 알게 됐어요. 유리 씨는요?
I got to know her while taking yoga classes. How about you, Yuri? Remember that the taga form means that something happens immediately after something else. The first action is interrupted and isn't completed, and then the second action happens. Here, 수업 듣다가 means that Jisoo was taking classes and while doing that got to know Sona. The action of meeting Sona interrupted Jisoo taking classes. A natural way to translate this form is while.
저는 선아랑 같은 학교 다녔어요.
I attended the same school as Sona. 다니다 has several meanings, but here means attending school.
학교면 대학교?
For school, college?
아니요. 초중고를 다 같이 다녔어요.
No, we attended elementary, middle, and high school all together. 초, 중, 고 is an abbreviation of 초등학교, 중학교, and 고등학교.
어머, 그럼 10년도 넘게 알고 지낸 사이네요?
Oh, then you've known her for even more than 10 years. 넘게 comes from 넘다, meaning to exceed or to go over or beyond, and means something is more than or over an amount. 알고 지내다 is from 알다, meaning to know, and 지내다, meaning to spend or pass time, and means to know and spend time together. A more natural way to translate this is also to go back. You two go back over 10 years. 사이 has several translations but can be used to mean a relationship. It's commonly used to refer to any sort of relationship between people, whether good or bad. Here, this sentence can translate literally as, it's a relationship where you've known her for even over 10 years.
네, 아쉽게도 대학교는 같이 못 갔지만요. 언니, 뭐 마실래요?
Yeah, unfortunately for college, we couldn't go together though. Do you want to drink something? 아쉽게도 comes from 아쉽다, which means that something feels unsatisfying. Specifically, it's when someone feels regret for either missing an opportunity or when something is just missing. While 아쉽게도 can translate as unfortunately, keep this nuance in mind, since other words can also translate as unfortunately. Ending a sentence with 지만, here 지만요 to be polite, has a nuance that the sentence isn't complete and the speaker is still thinking about more to say. Here, you can think of this as just saying, but it's unfortunate we couldn't go together. Or it can translate simply as, we couldn't go together though. The leo form is used after an action verb stem with either 을 or lir to mean that you want to do something. However, literally this form means that you intend to do something. Therefore, this form can be used to say that you both want to and intend to do something. To use it, first attach 을 to a verb stem that ends in a consonant. For example, 먹다 becomes 먹을래요. Or attach lir to a verb stem that ends in a vowel. For example, 하다 becomes 할래요. Verb stems that end with lir will attach 레요. For example, 살다 becomes 살래요. Note that this should only be used in informal speech, and also not to refer to anyone in the third person. So to say he, she, or they.
저는 아까 커피 마셔서 차 마시려고요. 유리 씨 먼저 골라봐요.
I drank coffee a little while ago, so I'll drink tea. You choose first. 먼저 means that something happens first before anyone or anything else. The form 으려고 하다 can also be used without 하다. At the end of a sentence, this can become 으려고요.
라떼도 마시고 싶고, 아도 괜찮을 것 같고. 어렵다. 못 고르겠어요.
I want to also drink a latte, and I think an iced Americano would be okay too. And it's difficult. I won't be able to choose. Latte is actually an incorrect spelling of latte, meaning latte. However, you will more likely hear this pronounced and see it written as latte. So I've left it as latte in the conversation. Many common foreign words tend to be pronounced and written differently, so keep an eye out for any others you might find. Ah is a shortened version of the word ice americano, meaning iced Americano, used in informal situations.
그럼 밖에 비도 오는데 오늘은 라떼 마셔요. 여기 라떼 잘해요.
Then outside it's also raining. Today drink a latte. Here they're good at lattes.
네, 그럼 저는 라떼 할게요.
Okay, then I'll do a latte. Remember that the keo ending is used to mean that the speaker decides or promises to do something. I decided I will, I promise to, or more naturally just I will. This form is commonly used when the speaker is responding to something that someone else said. Because Jisoo suggested that Yuri drink a latte, Yuri is replying with what she's going to do using the keo form. Here, this can translate more naturally as, I'll get a latte.
선아 오려면 시간 좀 걸릴 것 같은데. 쿠키나 케이크도 하나 먹을까요?
I think it will take a bit of time for Sona to come here. So should we also eat one cookie or cake? Remember that 으려면 comes from the form 으려고 하면 and means if one intends to, or if one is going to do something. However, a common and natural way to translate the 으려고 form is also in order to. Here, 선아 오려면 literally means if Sona intends to come here, or if Sona is going to come here, but more naturally can translate as in order for Sona to come here, or just for Sona to come here. Remember that 이나 means or something when the speaker doesn't have any preference. Here, 쿠키나 케이크 means a cookie or a cake, or something else, or nothing at all. Jisoo doesn't have a preference whether they eat a cookie or a piece of cake or anything else. Hana, meaning one, is being used here to just mean a. Hana is added because Jisoo wants to say that she only means one cookie or cake, and not that she's suggesting they eat a lot of them. This word can commonly be used in speech by itself to count items without attaching a counter.
좋아요. 저는 빵 종류는 다 좋아해요.
Sounds good. I like all kinds of bread. 좋아요 literally means it's good, but 좋다, to be good, is commonly used to mean that the speaker feels good. A more natural way to translate 좋다 when it's used by itself is sounds good, or sounds great, or all right. Note that 빵, meaning bread, is also used to refer to any sort of pastry or cake, and not only plain bread.
잘 됐다. 여기 케이크 맛집인데. 레몬 파운드 케이크 먹어봤어요?
That worked out well. Here is famous for its cakes. Did you try the lemon pound cake? The word 맛집 can be used by itself or after a type of food to mean a restaurant famous for its food.
아니요. 근데 레몬 파운드 케이크 맛있을 것 같아요.
No, but I think a lemon pound cake will taste good.
그럼 레몬 파운드 케이크 하나 할게요. 먹어보고 입에 잘 맞으면 하나 더 먹어요.
Then I'll get one lemon pound cake. Try it, and if you like it, let's eat one more. 입에 맞다 literally means that something is correct or right for your mouth, and is used to mean that a food or drink suits one's tastes. Note how 먹어요 can translate as let's eat. The regular verb conjugation of any action verb, for example, 하다 becomes 해 or 해요, can also be used to mean let's.
네, 좋아요.
Okay, great!
저희 레몬 파운드 케이크 하나랑 따뜻한 라떼 하나랑 따뜻한 홍차 하나 주세요.
Please give us one lemon pound cake, one hot latte, and one hot black tea. 따뜻하다, meaning to be warm, is used to mean to be hot when ordering beverages.
제가 계산할게요.
I'll pay. 계산하다 can be used by both the customer and the store worker, as it means to calculate or to take care of payment. For the customer, this can mean to pay, and for the store worker, this can mean to ring up.
오늘은 제가 살게요. 다음번에 유리 씨가 사요.
Today, I'll pay. Next time, you pay. Note how 사요 is being used as a command. You pay. The regular verb conjugation of any action verb, for example, 하다 becomes 해 or 해요, can also translate as a command.
고마워요, 언니. 잘 먹을게요.
Thanks, I'll enjoy it. 잘 먹다 literally means to eat well, but is used when accepting food from someone else as a way of saying I'll enjoy the food. It's used in this way to say thanks to the person who prepared or bought the food. So it can also translate more naturally as simply thank you. In more polite speech, this becomes 잘 먹겠습니다. But in everyday speech, this commonly becomes 잘 먹을게요 or 잘 먹을게. Now that we've gone over everything, let's listen to this conversation one more time completely and use your notes and try to follow along using what we've learned.
언니는 선아 어떻게 알게 됐어요? 저는 요가 수업 듣다가 알게 됐어요. 유리 씨는요? 저는 선아랑 같은 학교 다녔어요. 학교면 대학교? 아니요. 초중고를 다 같이 다녔어요. 어머, 그럼 10년도 넘게 알고 지낸 사이네요? 네, 아쉽게도 대학교는 같이 못 갔지만요. 언니, 뭐 마실래요? 저는 아까 커피 마셔서 차 마시려고요. 유리 씨 먼저 골라봐요. 라떼도 마시고 싶고, 아도 괜찮을 것 같고. 어렵다. 못 고르겠어요. 그럼 밖에 비도 오는데 오늘은 라떼 마셔요. 여기 라떼 잘해요. 네, 그럼 저는 라떼 할게요. 선아 오려면 시간 좀 걸릴 것 같은데. 쿠키나 케이크도 하나 먹을까요? 좋아요. 저는 빵 종류는 다 좋아해요. 잘 됐다. 여기 케이크 맛집인데. 레몬 파운드 케이크 먹어봤어요? 아니요. 근데 레몬 파운드 케이크 맛있을 것 같아요. 그럼 레몬 파운드 케이크 하나 할게요. 먹어보고 입에 잘 맞으면 하나 더 먹어요. 네, 좋아요. 저희 레몬 파운드 케이크 하나랑 따뜻한 라떼 하나랑 따뜻한 홍차 하나 주세요. 제가 계산할게요. 오늘은 제가 살게요. 다음번에 유리 씨가 사요. 고마워요, 언니. 잘 먹을게요.
And that's all for this lesson. Remember that natural Korean conversations can range in difficulty from beginner level all the way to advanced. So take your time, practice everything in this lesson. You can rewatch it if you need to, and I'll see you again in the next lesson. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.